Yo, every Wednesday night, you better tune in tight. At 7 p.m. CST, we bring in that insight. Halas Hall Report, best podcast in the game. Stats and facts, you'll remember the name. Host Ken Dub got the knowledge on lock. Co-host Woody the Bear fan, talking all that talk. 3 Bear fans chilling, opinions on the side. We're here for the love, riding that Bear pride. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Lions think they're fierce with Dan Campbell's call, but all that greed ain't gonna help them at all. Same old story, we know how it goes. They just can't compete, everybody knows. Minnesota Vikings always talking smack, but when it's game day, they ain't got the knack. Sitting on the couch while we're making a stand. Over here in Chi-Town, we're the best in the land. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Packer fans yell blow pack blow, but can't see the truth. We're stealing the show. Rivalry heated, but we stay real cool. Halas Hall Report, yeah, that's the rule. With every episode, we build that hype. Stats and team news, we got the right type. Fan base strong, we ain't looking back. 2025, it's a winning attack. So gather round fans, put your hands in the air. Every Wednesday night, we're breathing that bear. Join the revolution, watch the magic unfold. Halas Hall Report, we're breaking the mold. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. So mark your calendars, don't miss a beat. Every Wednesday night, Halas Hall can't be beat. Stats, facts, team news on deck. Halas Hall Report, what did you expect? 2025, the Bears are here to stay. Blue and orange in the north, leading the way.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Halas Hall Report, the Wednesday night edition. Of course, I'm Ken the Bear fan, and with me is a guy who has no opinion ever. It's Woody Bear Down. Good evening, Woody.
Good evening. I can say it. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Wasn't it not a good evening for the Giants head coach? Oh, I'm sorry, fired head coach.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of games, the Bears had to come back and win. I think it's not only because of Dart. Obviously, Dart got concussion when he fumbled the ball. I think he got kneed in the head. That's where I was replaying it over and over again. But I think he got fired because they're losing, and he didn't go for that 4th and 1 at the goal line that would have put him up by 14.
Yeah, I mean, the one good thing I can say about the Bears getting the W is I once again go back to the Raiders game. When they asked Caleb about it, he said, it's great when you can win by 30. Everyone has a lot of fun, but now we know we can win these kinds of games. And they did it. He did it again.
Yep. He
did it again. He pulled one out, took control of the team, drove them down the field. Defense, it showed up at times. The defense showed up at times. I mean, the takeaways are great. They did, the Bears defense is good on the run game if you're not the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the last Giants game I brought the daughter down to MetLife, and that's when Daniel Jones beat us for 3 rollout touchdowns. Dart beat us with 2. So we can't go past these quarterbacks with their ability, and they had time to study Jackson Dart. They knew what he can do. They have 5 particular runs just for him in the playbook, and he just ran all over us, but fumble killed him.
I mean, the running backs, yeah, we can stop them, right? We contain the running backs. It's the quarterbacks we don't contain. And we'll talk on Sunday about our game this week. I don't think the quarterback on this Sunday is going to be the issue for running as much. But Jaden Daniels had success against us with his feet more than he did his arm. But then, arm wise, we play a lot of prevent. We're not a lot of prevent, a lot of zone.
Ugh.
The Bears, I don't know. Is it because we don't have the personnel to play man, and then he doesn't want to try it, that he just keeps playing zone?
They just don't want to give the big shot, like the big play. I was like, listen, if you're 2 minutes offense and we're up by 6 and there's a minute left and they go in their 2-minute offense, you have that whole middle of the field. If you keep throwing to that middle of the field, they're going to go down the field on you. They're not going to throw, down the field that much unless they have to get out of bounds or something, do an out pattern. But I hate this zone defense they play when they're up and they're trying to stop these teams.
But they play it the majority of the time because you look at all those big pass plays, they were in the zone, finding the holes in the zone. That's exactly what teams have been doing on the Bears, is beating the zone, because we don't have the pressure. We're not getting the pressure to beat the zone. Because in order to beat the zone, you need to pressure the quarterback, right? And we're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
That's why we're losing out in the zone. At what point do we just go to man, more of a man look? I don't know. It's just frustrating because, like, zone, I get why people run zone, but in order to run a zone effectively, you've got to pressure the quarterback.
Yep.
And
can't have CJ sacking the quarterback every play. Well, it'd be nice. He came up big again, and I'm sorry, and these Bears fans are going to hate me for, especially Broski. Tremaine Edmonds is playing for this team next year. He's doing it. I don't care. He has 4 interceptions. He's going to. I have a feeling he's going to be our linebacker, him and TJ Edwards next year. He's playing. He's playing.
Yeah, really, the guy of who you might see leave the team for money purposes, really the only guy of the 3 you might be able to make the case for now is Cole Kmet.
Yep.
And I think that's even a hard sell, actually, to this franchise.
Yeah, they're not using him. You can see they're trying to use Loveland more than Kmet. I don't know. Maybe they just, save the $10 million next year and, call it a day. But,
Well, what are you going to do about Dio? I think there's a big piece that goes to that, because not to look ahead to next year, but look at Marty Booker. I did it. Invoking names of the past. Marty Booker. But Booker played well for his first start, relatively well. Is he the future though?
If they keep bringing him in, I can see that. I would love to. He would have been what if we didn't draft him coming back into the 5th round last year. He would have been a top 2 rounder this year. So if he plays like it, then heck yeah, I would want to see him on the team.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was being told there's some thing outside that
getting your dinner.
No.
What, a fucking UFO, Oscar?
No, the Borellis or whatever thingy. I'm like, she's informing me she's going to look at it. I'm like, well, it's not like I'm going to stop the show to go look at this thing.
Yeah. Let's go outside.
Yeah, let's go outside.
Like I did in California when we went out for my stepdaughter's surgery. I was up on the roof of the hotel doing the podcast.
I don't think my laptop would travel as well throughout my house. But anywho, is edge rusher still? What do we need an edge? Do we need a defensive tackle? What is the issue with this defense?
I don't. I don't know if Dennis Allen's not putting the pressure on, like a Brian Flores would do. If we're going up against, good offensive linemen, it's coming up slowly, but we need to start hitting the quarterback. Russell Wilson on Sunday didn't have a clue when he got put in. He had no clue. He had like one rush, 2 rushes for like 11 yards or something like that. And he couldn't hit a pass. I'm comparing to Russell Wilson from the pass. He's not the answer for them. Now Jameis Winston starting for them Sunday. Yeah, we just got to get these pressures, and I can't wait till Gordon. If Gordon comes back, what they're going to do with CJ? If they're going to have
Rotate
CJ
him.
taking Nashawn Wright or something like that, or whatever's going to happen. That's
So
going to be interesting.
we really, if you think about it, we're without Spidey this week. Next week, probably the next 3 games total without JJ. And then come December, we get JJ back, probably. But I saw something today where it looks like the plan, and what's up, Yinzer? Yeah, Jackwagon.
Wow.
That they'll take CJ and rotate him with Spidey.
Whew. That's going to be a good combo.
I think we'll see a lot more nickel packages than we will traditional packages because of that, especially while JJ's out. And then when JJ's back, then you got JJ back in, and you've got Tyreek on the other side, which I think that at that point, Tyreek becomes much better too. Tyreek's already been playing better this year, but I think with JJ, it's even better. Look at our secondary becomes good again. I mean, 2 guys being out, really have affected this defense tremendously, and one in particular with the pass rush.
Yeah, with TJ Edwards and with Gordon in there, that rush defense has been pretty good when they were both put back. So when TJ Edwards comes back, I want to see how he reacts with CJ. Maybe they'll do the same thing, but it seems like Brisker was playing a lot better with Gordon back as well. So it's going to be interesting.
Yinzer, that's a good question, and that's something we'll be talking about on Sunday when we preview the game. We won't get too much in the Sunday's game, if anything at all, tonight. We usually save that for the Sunday show because it's the pregame show. But going back to last week, CJ, what a pickup he's been. What, you got? Yep. 3 picks? No, 3 sacks, a pick, and a forced fumble.
Yeah,
something like that. I mean, he got the game ball last week. I know people, when we got him, they were like, "Oh, he's a cancer in the locker room. Oh, he's this, that, and the other." I think this is pay dirt for him and for the Bears. Like, this was his come to Jesus moment this year when he didn't get a contract. And when Allen calls him up,
we got him for 1 year.
Yeah, he's on contract for the remainder of the season. I think there's a possibility the Bears re-sign him, but I think this was a come to Jesus moment for him. And then when Allen said, "Look, let's try to give this one more shot," and he gets his opportunity to play with the Bears, I mean, this was this come to Jesus moment. And, I don't know how long of a contract he would get in Chicago next year, but he's definitely been reborn so far this year.
Yep. Playing pretty good.
And with the way this offense is tracking, because our offense put up good numbers this week, even with playing one of the better pass rushes, look at New York is deceptive, right? There are a couple teams in this league that are deceptive with their records. New York is one of them. That defensive line, and have you seen the videos of our offensive line with New York's defensive line? Some of the
throwing it right with Brian Burns, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Don't jump, Brian. Don't jump.
And then the spin move one where he took him down, and but look at they put pressure on Caleb. They made the Bears work offensively. The refusal to try to kick a field goal the first quarter was probably, in hindsight, a mistake. But you take look at the Bears are one of the better teams in the NFL in 4th down conversion, so I get why Ben did it. The one thing I did notice, did you notice a lack of trick plays this week?
Yeah, I thought, hey, he's not throwing all his eggs in one basket in the beginning of the game, so maybe it's at the end of the game. But I think he wanted to play conservative because we were down. So that might have us losing, even though we did it the last couple weeks. Us be playing from behind. He wanted to stick to the playbook.
I mean, they definitely made a point to go to Rome early. DJ really got blanked. No receptions for DJ. I think Burden's about to take over for Zacchaeus.
Yeah, man.
And that was the other thing, the drops. Oh my God, the drops this weekend. I felt like we were watching the Green Bay Packers.
I was like, people I was seeing in my DMs and stuff like that. Caleb throws too hard. Give the guy a chance. I'm like, well, if you want to thread the needle or throw it to the receiver where the defenseman can't get it, you're gonna have to catch it.
But there were so many drops. And, it wasn't just the Bears game, though. It was like, if you watch some of the other outdoor cold weather games, there were a lot of drops and fumbles and, mishandling of the rock. And you have to wonder if it was like just rust for these players playing in the cold. Because, look, playing in warm weather versus cold weather, the ball is different, right? It's a little more slick, a little harder. Maybe that was part of the problem, but we can't have all these drop passes again. We just can't.
Deflate the ball if it's cold.
Oh, great.
But overall, I mean, the Giants' defensive line, I said in the beginning of the year, they'd be top 5. They're last in every defensive aspect, which was surprising. You got, Brian Burns, you got Dexter Lawrence, you got Abdul Carter they drafted. I thought that defensive line would be a lot better, and I was actually scared for Caleb Williams on Sunday. Because Giants are in some games. I mean, they blew that game against Denver in Denver, with Denver has one of the best defenses in the league. And the way the Giants got up front, they went up 17-7. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And my daughter came over. She's a big Giant fan. And she actually literally cried. And I was like, you really wanted to beat your dad, right? Didn't you? She's like, no, I'm just frustrated. I'm like, believe me, you've been alive for 2 of their Super Bowls. I was alive at 1, so be happy.
Well, Caleb was 20 of 36 with a 55.556 throwing percentage. But a lot of that low number is attributed to drops. 220 yards, 1 touchdown with an 88.29 QBR. Once again, affected by drops in his receivers. Rushing, here's what's interesting. Swift had 13 for 80, averaging 6.1. Monangai, 7 for 28, averaging 4. Caleb, 8 for 63, averaging 7.8. Caleb also had the long on the day for 29 yards. The touchdowns, of course, went for Caleb carrying the game winner, and Monangai with the one he had. And then, of course, Caleb threw a TD to Rome, who got back in the game. Rome, 6 receptions for 86 yards. Loveland, 4 receptions for 55. Luther Burden, 3 for 51, averaging 17 yards a catch. DJ Moore, of course, was blank. DeAndre Swift, 5 catches for 18 yards. So DeAndre Swift almost had 100 combined yards this weekend.
How many yards does Swift have for the year?
Let me bring him up. His numbers for the year.
Oh, he was out.
113 carries for 544 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an average of 4.8 yards per carry.
He's pretty close to Barkley's numbers, and he was missing a game.
Yeah. Those are good numbers.
Yeah.
He's on track for a 1,000-yard season for sure.
Yeah, he was what, 22 yards? 41 yards away from last year. But if you get 4 to 5 yards a carry, you're going. You're good.
Yeah, he's at 4.8 right now, and he's been playing nicked up too. So,
and that bounce off run, that 4th down, which was a questionable call for me, to run, first go for it or to run it on the outside, because you know how that happens, and that was all Swift bouncing off that tackle and gaining like 6 or 7 yards to get that 1st down.
Defensively, really quick, while I've got this up, stack-wise, Montez Sweat had 2, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson had 2. That's it. And this one I'm talking about, like with Grady Jarrett.
Yeah.
0 tackles. 0 sacks. Austin
Tremaine-
Booker, 3 tackles at least. Tremaine Edmonds, of course, he had a decent game. But I mean, like, I don't understand what's up with Grady Jarrett. I don't. The game stats for the game, though, time of possession, the Giants owned it. They had it for 31.3. First downs, we had that by 2. We had 23 first downs. They had 431 total yards of offense. We only had 391. Passing yards, Jackson Dart had a better game with 262. We had 220. Rushing, Bears had that by 3 yards with 171. We only had 3 penalties that entire game. They had 10. Return yards, we won that battle by 20 yards. Total plays, we had 6 less plays. Yards per play, we averaged 6.1. They were 6.2, and of course, they had the 1 turnover. Interesting thing about the Bears and their record right now, we are negative in point differential.
Probably because of that 52-pointer and the 42-pointer against Cincinnati and Detroit. It's like 95 yards. That's 95 points right there, close to it.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. If I bring up the standings, just in our division. So right now, of course, we're in second place. We have a -8 point differential. Yeah. 239 points or 247 points against.
This is the hardest part of our schedule coming up, too.
Yep. Now, look at compared to Carolina, who's -45. But look at the Rams are plus 98. The Seahawks are plus 103. The Lions are plus 83. The Packers are plus 37. Actually, in the NFC, we're not too bad. The Eagles are plus 26, but then the Cowboys are -14. So, as far as the playoff hunt, we're good in terms of that. In terms of the conference standings, we're actually, believe it or not,
right now we're 6th seed.
We're 6th seed. Right. The top 7 teams, only 6 are positive point differential.
So I think,
and really, if you think about it, if the Packers, I would say, had beaten the Cowboys, they would be 6-3 as well, and they would own the tiebreak. So as the 7th seed being -8, and considering that the 8th seed is -10, we're it's not as bad as you would think for being 6 for the conference. Conversely, in the AFC, they have a lot more problems. Like their number 4 team is -8. Their number 7 team is -15 in point differential. So even over there, 2, 4, 6, 7 teams are plus in the AFC. So it's not uncommon, but really, that's good, Ron.
Well, right now, right now, if the playoffs started today, Bears would be playing the Lions.
Yeah, let's see. Philly would have the bye. Then Seattle would get Green Bay. Yeah, we'd go to Detroit, and the Rams would go to Tampa.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to that Rams-Seahawks game this weekend.
Yeah, there'll be some big games this weekend.
Yep, big games.
But look, Woody, we are where we said we needed to be after that 5-game stretch. We went 4-1. 5-0 would have been preferable, but we went 4-1. 3-game win streak. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. How about you?
I am, but I'm not looking forward to these next 3 games.
Actually, let me clarify. Record-wise, I'm happy.
Yes, record-wise, I am.
Yeah,
more wins than we had last year so far.
Yes.
So it's a win for us.
I'm perplexed because we thought we'd be a top 5, top 10 defense this year, and we're anything but so far. We showed signs of it for 2 games, and then kind of just it did what it did. Offensively, we're getting better every week. We get better in some way, shape, or form.
Are we still 4th? I think the rankings came out yesterday. I know we're 15th. I know we're 15th overall. Last week we were 4th in offense.
Well, let's see here.
So if anybody has any questions in the comments, please, we'll answer them all. And if I say a curse word like fuck or whatever, that's just me.
The Bears are ranked 3rd in total offense right now behind the all right, actually it goes team 1 is the Colts, who's played 10 games. Team 2 is the Bills, and then the Bears are 3rd. The Cowboys are 4th, the Rams are 5th, the Lions are 6th in offensive rankings. And that's based off yards per game.
And I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, Cowboys were number 1, so they dropped.
Yeah. We are averaging 379.8 yards per game. Points, if I can do it by points, if it breaks the list up. Points, we fall down the list. Detroit's actually 2nd. We're 9th in the league for points scored at 240, averaging 24 points a game.
That's totally opposite of what I thought. I thought our defense would be up there and our offense would be down lower like last year, but
defense, yards per game, we are 32, 31, 30, 29, 20, 27th in the league, giving up 375.7 yards per game. If we're going points per game, we're 32, 31, 30, 29. We're 28th at 27.3 yard points per game. Rushing, a little bit better. That's 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. We're 24th at 135.3 yards per game. So yeah, defense needs some work. In special teams,
oh God.
we're middle of the pack.
What, special team coverage or special team yards gaining?
Kickoff average, we're middle of the pack.
Okay.
Let me see. Punts, we'll go to average. For punts, we are with Green Bay, by the way, is dead last. The Bears are just on the plus side of the middle of the pack, an average of 10.9. So yeah, that needs some work. And turnovers, that's where it gets good. The Bears are in first place, plus 14. Jacksonville is in second at plus 8. We're number 1 in interceptions with 13. And fumbles, I think, is a bunch of people tied at nope. Actually, the Rams and the Dolphins and the Steelers all have 8. And then it's us, Arizona, and the Saints with 7. Giveaways, we should be ranking pretty good. Well, Philly only has one interception is thrown this year. Caleb, of course, is in the top. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 8th with only 4, tied for 7th actually with 4. And then you got 3 guys ahead of him with 3, being Goff, Love, and the Falcons in general. For fumbles, we rank 2nd in the league. Believe it or not, Kansas City has not fumbled the ball, lost a fumble all year. We're tied for 2nd in the league at 2.
With
not
Philly?
Too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Philly. I think Jalen Hurts only lost his 2nd fumble of the year on Monday night.
So we're doing good on turnovers. We're doing good on offense, defense, and special teams need some work.
Yeah.
I mean, the things we've been bitching about, and you can only attribute so much of that to injury in Chicago.
I just don't want to be Dallas the one year. I forget what year it was. Their number 1 offense, but last in defense.
Yeah, I don't want to be. And of course, the schedule
Mm.
is going to be interesting coming up for the Bears because now we're going to get into that stretch where it's just going to just be nasty.
Yep. Yep. And we didn't play Green. We got to play Green Bay twice, Detroit one more time, then Minnesota this week. Then we got the Niners, we got the Browns.
So we've got the schedule goes at Minnesota, at home against the Steelers, at Philly, at Green Bay. Then we get Cleveland at home, Green Bay at home, at San Fran, and we finish the season in Detroit. Noon game, Black Friday, 2 p.m. Noon game, Green Bay to be determined. NBC Sunday Night Football against the Niners and to be determined against Detroit.
Yep. Yep. The schedule is not favoring us, but I rather have the easy schedule in the beginning to get into the flow, and then we might surprise some teams at the end of this schedule.
Well, I mean, look, I think Minnesota is winnable. Pittsburgh is winnable. Actually, I think all these games are winnable. They're winnable. Green Bay with the issues they've been having the last couple of weeks, who knows how they're going. Pittsburgh, their defense isn't showing me anything, so let's go to a shootout. Which that's a shootout's anyone's game. Minnesota has a lot of defensive issues, and they don't take care of the ball as well. So I mean, we're going to talk about Minnesota more Sunday, but like I look at all these games. Cleveland doesn't have an offense, but they have a hell of a defense. So it might be a low-scoring game. Philly, I'm not sold on, even though they beat Green Bay. I'm not sold on it.
Mm.
So I mean, I think the Bears, they're all winnable. They're not going to win them all, but they are winnable games.
Well, I wish I was more optimistic than you, Ken.
Well, which games on here do you think are not winnable? Let's just go there.
The Bears going to Philly. Absolutely. Their fans, the way they play at home, they don't turn the ball over. That's a guaranteed, and I hate to say it, that's a guaranteed loss for us. That's just in my brain, my heart, everything.
Okay, so let's say Philly. I mean, that's probably. I was going to say that's probably the toughest game I have on there. I think we could win the game, but yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be. I think that's the toughest game, and they could lose that one. That's the one I'd earmark for an L more than any of the other ones. But after Philly, I mean,
I say that last game depends on where Detroit is in the rankings.
It depends where both teams are, right? If we have nothing to play for, we have nothing to play for.
It might be like a Green Bay situation last year because the only reason why we beat Green Bay because they rest their starters, correct? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The San Fran in San Fran, that's a tough place to win. So I go probably hardest games. Eagles and Philly, at Green Bay, and at San Fran. Those are my 3 games I'm not looking forward to.
So 3 of the next 8. So you're saying that we for you, 5 and 3 is a decent possibility over the next 8 games.
Well, I said the Bears would be 9 and 8, so I'll be happy with 3 and 5 the rest of the year. But that's probably no playoffs. Who knows how the division goes?
5 and 3 would be phenomenal. That would give us. We'd end up the year at 11 and 6, which would be a phenomenal turnaround.
Oh yeah,
from last year. If we can go 10 and 7, that's even phenomenal. Let's say we split with Green Bay.
Yep.
Because I could see a situation where and here's the thing with Green Bay. For both, Green Bay plays on Thursday. We play on Friday, so we both have that extra time to prepare, so to speak. So really, it's not a short. It's almost like a mini bye for both teams. So I mean, that should be a good one. But it's hard for anyone to beat. 2 games in 3 weeks. It's really hard to sweep a team like that.
Yep, and depends on when do we play? Is that game in Chicago? That last game with Detroit, or is that at Detroit? No, it's in Chicago.
Home. It's at Soldier Field.
So yeah, that's right. We played at Detroit. So that game, cold weather, you never know if Detroit's playing for the division or if they have the division locked down or the seeding. We know how Goff does in the cold weather. So that could be a toss up as well. The last game of the year.
And look, let's not Detroit. Their schedule. Looking at their schedule really quick. Look at we're tied atop the division with them at 6-3 right now, right? So look at they get Philly this week.
Yep.
Then they get New York. Then they get Green Bay. Then they get Dallas. And they get the Rams, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and us. And the Minnesota game's on Netflix. Interesting. They got a Prime Video game, so Thursday Night Football for Dallas. But they're like they could lose this week at Philly, just like we could lose on Black Friday. If you think about Thanksgiving getting the Packers, that could be interesting. I mean, they get New York and it's a short week, and they get the Packers, and they got the break. Then they play the following Thursday against Dallas. So they're doing 2 Thursdays in a row, and then they get the mini bye, so to speak, and go to the Rams. So the interesting thing, though, for them is, and I'll say this, okay, first let me go with the Bears. Interesting thing with the weather. The only team on our schedule where weather will be in it could be look at Minnesota, we're in a dome. We're at Pittsburgh, same weather as us, so no advantage anyone. At Philly, 2 cold weather teams, big deal. At Green Bay, 2 cold weather teams, big deal. Cleveland at home, 2 cold weather teams, big deal. Green Bay at home, two cold weather teams, big deal. At San Francisco, well, don't have to worry about the cold weather there. The only game for us where the cold weather could be an advantage is Detroit, Week 18.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Detroit, going to Philly, cold weather could be an issue. Home against New York, no weather issue. Home against Green Bay, no weather issue. Home again, well, Dallas either way would be a dome. At LA, no weather issue. Going to Pittsburgh, they could get a weather issue.
Yep.
Oh, no, they get Pittsburgh at home. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh at home, no weather issue. Going to Minnesota, no weather issue. Then Chicago. So really, of their next games, the only ones that can have weather issues that may affect them negatively would be Philly and Chicago.
Yeah, it's like last year with Detroit. They didn't play their first outside game until like week 8 or 9.
Yeah, they only played 2
like
last year. They just played. They just played in Washington. It was kind of cold, a little sleety, a little cold. But so the weather is not going to be as much of a factor for the schedule from here on out.
No, that's why we have to get our rush defense on par, because if it is snowing out, like for example, it was snowing against the Giants on Sunday, if subtract Dart, their rushing yards weren't good at all.
Yeah.
Again, that's like what, 3 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row. I mean, against Washington too. I mean, if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels, they would have no rushing yards. So we got to get our rushing game all around better, not just the running backs. We got to stop the quarterback too. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Jesus Christ, I'm not looking forward to that game. That's 3 weeks away though. So
yeah, 3 weeks away. But I mean, like if we can go of the next 8, if we go 4-4 or 5-3 or better, let me put it this way: if we go 4-4 or better, that puts us at a 10-win season and definitely in the playoff hunt.
Yep.
Which I think we would be happy with that. If we go 3-5, it's still a 9-win season. I think Bears fans overall would be happy with that, but disappointed because we're 6-3 right now.
Yep.
I think we have to at least beat Green Bay once, which I think we can. I think we have to beat Minnesota this weekend, and we'll get into that Sunday. We should beat Cleveland. But then the other games, I mean, Pittsburgh is a game we can win, though, too, because Pittsburgh, they're kind of like us in a weird way.
Yeah, that's the advantage we have with them. We're at home against the Steelers. But then, I'm sorry, I'll be worried about that fucking Eagle game all the way up until Black Friday.
I'm not worried about going to Minnesota this weekend. I'm not worried about having Pittsburgh at home. That's advantage us. Cleveland's at home. The second Green Bay game is at home, right? And then the Detroit game's at home. But that San Francisco game, it can't. The good thing for the Bears is it's a late game. That may actually benefit the Bears, being the Sunday Night Football game, being the 7:20 start or the 8:20 for you on the East Coast.
There
That
you
might
go.
be an advantage for the Bears, a little bit of an advantage for the Bears, because it's not for them. It's like start having a 3 p.m. start almost. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And as far as the internal body clock. But yeah, if we can go at least 4-4 in the next 8, I think that puts it like winning 10 games this season. Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy right now where the record's at, because last year we had 5 wins. We have 6 now.
But
If we
like
go to, it's I'm are we going to keep Ben Johnson? So if we go 9-8 like I thought, then I'd be happy as well. But I don't want to miss the playoffs if we have a shot.
so
Obviously.
mid-season report card. Then what do you give Ben Johnson at the midway point of his first season as the Bears head coach?
Oh, I give him A+. I'm sorry, A- because of the red zone. I'm going to do A-.
Yeah, I'd kind of be like a B+, A- because the red zone efficiency really was terrible. This week was a little bit of a setback with the weather. Like just try to field goal, because they couldn't get the offense working until the end when they wore the defense down to get the offense working. But this weekend they should have been a little crisper. But part of that's not Ben's fault with the drop balls and whatnot from guys who normally don't drop as much as they did this weekend. But yeah, I'm comfortable with an A-, B+ for sure with Ben Johnson. So offense, what would be your midseason grade for the offense?
I'll say B+ because I'm sorry, I'm gonna go B- because in the beginning of the year our rushing game had to be a little bit a couple games in to get it rolling here. I'll say B-.
I'm gonna go with just just an A, because like at the beginning of the year the passing game is going, then it wasn't going, the running game is going, but the last couple games they've balanced it out. And dude, we're a top 5 offense. You can't. That's why you have to get an A. You're a top 5 offense. You're getting an A just for that.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, you're a top 5 offense, and you're still not where you can be.
Nope.
This offense is not. It can still get better. That's a scary thing with this offense. But you're a top 5 offense, and you're not even hitting on all cylinders yet. So I'm going to give them a solid A. Okay, now let's go to the defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen. What's your grade for him right now?
D for Dennis Allen. Dick. I'm giving it a D. Absolutely.
I can't give him a D. I got to give him at least a C. Oof. Because we lead the league in turnovers. A lot of it's bend don't break, but if he could get a pass rush going, this defense would be an A or a B. But right now, I'll give him a C, teetering on a C-. And the only thing that keeps him from a failing grade is that we lead the league in turnovers. And that's part of his philosophy. I think injuries have hurt him, but I think he's also used it as a crutch. Like we said last week, and like, dude, stop saying I don't have the personnel, just go for it, because what you're doing isn't working.
Well, that too, and we haven't won a game this year without getting a turnover. So
I got to give him a C for that, because they may not be getting the sacks, they may not be getting the 3 and outs, but they're getting the turnovers, leading the league, and that's setting up the offense for some success. So I'll give him a C-, but he's very close to failing. If it wasn't for the turnovers, I'd give him an F.
Yeah,
but they got to turn it around. They got to turn it around. Special teams.
Well,
hold on. Let me give. We did the coordinator. Let me just get now. What about a defense grade? Is your defensive grade going to be any different?
Defensive
for the unit, the defensive unit.
Well, no, not at all.
I'm gonna give the secondary a B, and I'm gonna give the front 4 an F. I'm gonna break it down a little bit like that. And the linebacking 4, I'm kind of neutral on, because they're just doing the best they can with the front 4 kind of sucking. But the front 4 is not getting enough pressure, and that's why they're getting beat on these zone coverages. So that's my single point of failure right now. That's why they're getting an F. The secondary is doing everything they can to keep us in games, ball hawking, breaking up
All right.
passes, getting interceptions. So that's where I'm going there. Coach Hightower, our longtime tenured special teams coach. What's your grade for him at this point of the year?
Which aspect? Field goal, kickoff coverage, kickoff return.
In total, in total.
Oh man. I have to say a C minus. I'm pushing C minus D because of the kickoff coverage, and somebody's got to. I like Dunnervey as a kickoff returner, but it seems like when there's nothing there, he doesn't try to make a move at all. He just like, yeah, I just my clitoris. So I D. I'm pushing C minus.
I'm pretty close to that as well because the coverage has been terrible both ways. You give up the opening kickoff to Cincinnati. Like, was that the only one of the year in the NFL? It's got to be close. You give up. You also give up the onside kick in the Cincinnati game.
Party.
Yeah, I mean, he got pushed back into it. His heel barely touches, but still, dude.
Yeah.
The field goal kicking is kind of a quagmire for me because I love, we all love Santos for reasons. The fact that you got a guy in Moody who's still in your practice squad and no one has stolen him yet, to me is pretty wow that he's still there. Just want to throw us out there as of the completion of games on Monday night. Justin Tucker is now available to kick for anyone he wants to, suspension free. His suspension is done.
Ooh.
Just saying. I don't know if anyone's going to do anything with that, but remember, it's a 9-game suspension. Week 9 is over. Or maybe he has to wait one more week because it was when he was with Baltimore, and Baltimore had their bye week. So maybe after the end of week 10. But nonetheless, he's going to be available here. Maybe that's why Moody hasn't been picked up yet. But the return, the coverage team on both sides of it have been sucking. They're not giving Dunnervey holes to exploit. So we're getting these big returns. And when we do get a big return, it always gets flagged back for a penalty. And on kicking off coverage, we're giving up, and even on punt returns, we are giving up way too many freaking yards.
Yep.
Now, that's not all on Hightower, right? He's got to work with the personnel he's given by the OC and the DC. So I get that, but he's got to do better with what he's got. He's just got to.
I was just impressed that Santos hit the end zone on a kickoff twice last week. I was surprised.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't gone the Moody. I mean, they're obviously seeing something in practice that we're not. That he's maybe not as consistent as Santos. Maybe he's still got the consistency issues. But I like that we still have him available. Ryan Poles, what do you got for him for a grade at the midway point?
Oh, with the pickups he's been getting, CJ, I'll give him a B.
Yeah, I think CJ ups his grade for sure.
Oh yeah,
that was a good move. But Grady Jarrett and Dio, neither of them worked. And and Grady Jarrett, I feel bad saying he didn't work, but because he hasn't been terrible where he's been the one being exploited, but he's not. I'm not seeing anything out of him. I'm not seeing him create the pressures. I'm not seeing what his contribution really is besides being a guy in the field.
I mean, when Dale was healthy, I don't think he did too bad. New team, new weather culture, because he's playing outside instead of indoors. I thought he played not too bad. I mean, he could have, had a couple more sacks, but we could blame the thing on Sweat as well. I don't think he played as bad when he was healthy, Dale.
I mean, early on he looked okay, and then maybe he got nicked up before the injury to put him out for the year. But he wasn't a bust, but he wasn't a success either. You know what I mean? And for $8 million this year, okay, but $18 million next year.
Yeah.
So I think I'd give him offensively. He gets an A+ for the offense. He gets like a B for the defense. So I'm going to give him a B+. overall, and the coaching hirings were good. So maybe even tinkering on an A. But I mean, injuries you can't, not his fault. But the fact that we missed out on Asante Samuel,
Yeah.
which we could still steal him off the Steelers practice squad, that's still
Well,
possible. But
if he doesn't make the 53 this week or against us, I'll be big surprised because Steelers don't have their DBs suck. I mean, Darius
yeah,
Slay's getting burnt. I mean, he's not up up to par. So I'll be surprised if he's not on that 53-man roster this game coming up.
what about the front office being Warren, McCaskey, and those folks? What are you giving them for a midseason grade?
I'm giving McCaskey an A because when they played Washington and we beat them 25-24, his excitement on that sideline, that was the first time I seen him on that sidelines, psyched up, giving high fives and stuff like that. He lost his mom as well. So I'm going to give him an A.
I'm going to give him an A as well because of two things. One, he's staying out of football operations, and I think you're seeing that in his so much more of a relaxed demeanor, and he's become more of like Hunt in Kansas City. The owner that's there, he hypes the guys up, he shakes their hands. He's just one of the guys. Versus I'm the owner, I'm making changes. He's got people for that. He's just able to be loose around the team. I think that's helped. And Warren, I love that I love that Warren finally said, "Look, it's Arlington Heights. Let's go." And I was hoping we'd break ground by now, but now we're coming to winter. We probably won't break ground to the spring. But I do like that they have they picked a destination. It's going to be Arlington, and now we know where we're going. I like that drama is over. And look, I even give them some credit for allowing Chicago, the city, to get back into the mix and let them shoot themselves in the wee again. And Chicago sure as hell shot themselves in the wee again. And Governor Pritzker did too. So they made it easy for the Bears to move to Arlington Heights. But I'll give them some credit for trying to keep the team within the city limits. But then, Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker, shot their own wee-wees off.
Wow. I'm surprised. They both shot their wee-wees off?
They both did. They both continue to in other certain ways, which we won't get into on a football show. But I mean,
that's gonna hurt.
They just did everything they could to run the Bears out of town, it seemed like.
Well, I know everybody, you believe Arlington Heights. I won't believe it until we break that ground. We can speculate all we want. We hear this, we hear that. Until that ribbon's cut and the first shovel is there.
Right.
I was saying, welcome to Arlington Heights.
But I mean, it makes sense for the Bears too. They own the land. They're going to make a ton of money. It's going to cost them money because the state said they're not going to give them anything. But whatever. I think Arlington Heights is a good place for them in the long term financially for the club, for the team. It just sucks that the city and the state kind of were jackwagons, to quote Yinsner there. They were jackwagons. Cincinnati did what they had to do to keep their team. Cleveland did what they needed to do to keep their team. Chicago, not so much. And the state was zero help. I mean, organization grade overall, I think our organization grades should be pretty good. What's your overall grade of the Bears at the midway point?
Let's see. I was there against Dallas. Perfect attraction, blah, blah, blah. But up front office, I give them again a B.
No, the entire nuts and bolts thing, everything.
Overall.
The overall grade for the Bears right now, yeah.
I'll give it a B- because of the defense. If the defense would have been up to par, I would say A. I'm going to say B-.
I will agree with you. I think a B- is a fair grade.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair grade. I think for everything that we are at right now. And let me just for shits and giggles, let's look at the Week 11 power rankings from Fox Sports. Let's see how bad the Bears are here.
What's 15th?
I'm looking for their. What the hell? Okay, that's a bad link. Wow. Okay. Let me get this part. Is this CBS Sports Power Ranking? So I want to see how much love the Bears aren't getting.
And I'm going to look up the start off
Okay.
injury report.
The Bears, yeah, you look up the injury report real quick. Okay, so at number 1 are the Eagles. Number 2 are the Ravens. That kind of makes some sense. 3 is the Chiefs, even though they didn't play last week. The Bills are 4, even though they just got wiped out by Miami. The Packers are 5, even though they're below the Bears in the standings. The Steelers are at 6. The Commanders are at 7. This has got to be an old list. The Lions at 9. Where are the Bears at? Oh, my God. Yeah, they have the Bears at 17. When was this done? September 2nd. No wonder why that's so bad.
So while you're looking that up, we have a big injury report. So do the Vikings. Byard was a non-injury. It's rest. And so was DJ Edwards. No, wait up. Grady Jarrett.
Really?
A lot of did not practices.
The Sporting News has the Bears at 13th in the power rankings. Ahead of them is Kansas City, the Chargers, the Buccaneers, the Packers, who are behind us, by the way, on a 2-game losing streak, the Bills, the Lions, and then, of course, the Seahawks, Broncos, Pats, Colts, and Rams, and then the Eagles. I agree with those guys being up there. How the hell are the Packers still ahead of the Bears in the power rankings, though?
Strength of schedule?
Maybe.
That's the only thing I could think of.
You're third in the NFC North. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be it. So, but once again, Chicago still gets no love in the power rankings. You've got to love it. Yeah, today's injury report is going to be kind of lengthy and weird. We'll get a good one for Sunday. But who didn't? Is there anyone who did not practice because of injury today, not just because of rest?
Yeah, DJ Moore, Adunze, Stevenson, Cole Kmet left practice, Dominic Robinson left practice, Swift left practice, Blackwell and Hippolyte were full practice today.
I think most of those guys I'm not worried about. They'll play.
And Brisker didn't practice today as well.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, don't forget, guys, on Sunday we'll be here at 11 a.m. Central, noon on the East for the pregame. We will preview the Bears showdown with the Vikings. Well, a full injury report for that game. I think most of those guys, we might go in pretty healthy this week. I think the only guys we're still going to be missing are Spidey and JJ. So this could be a good game for us this week. We'll also break down maybe a couple of the other notable games in the division. Look, a good win. I don't care how you get a win. You get a win. The White Sox just call it winning ugly. Caleb is making a case as a dark horse contender in the MVP race with these last-minute heroics and putting the team on his back. So it's getting interesting. You got any final thoughts there, Woody?
No. Like I said, this week we'll go over the War Week, so we might have some Vikings fans on Sunday. Vikings are already favored by 3. They're at home, so Vegas think it's going to be a close game. So let's hope no permanent injuries the rest of the week, and let's get these defense and defensive players and special teams get on their horse and let's fucking do it.
Yep, let's get it done. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Don't forget you can catch me tomorrow morning on Ken at 10 a.m. But until Sunday, everyone, bear down.
Bear down.